Vodacom Business has got a number of elements in it. For example, there's a South African business which has got both fixed and mobile. We've got StoreTech, which is a company that specializes in private data centers, but also it helps us with the cloud systems integration skill. But also they are a Cisco house, a Cisco Gold partner. And Cisco Gold partnership gives us a strategic advantage as Vodacom because a lot of the networks, wide area networks for businesses, are mostly on the Cisco platform. Now, to be a Cisco Gold partner, it means that we have the competence and the skill to build the best grade, enterprise-grade networks for companies. So StoreTech is very important for us. It's very strategic. Then the second part of this is also Xlink. Xlink is a company we own. It's a subsidiary of Vodacom. They specialize on point of sale for financial services, but also most of the M2M, machine-to-machine solutions, we deliver them through Xlink in the point where we talk about smart metering and other utility services. We use them. We use Xlink for that because they are good in managing the ecosystem of the various providers from smart metering solutions to point of sale, and they're doing very well. And the other part is the Vodacom Business Africa, where we provide services to multinationals and global enterprises across the continent. That business has presence in Nigeria, Zambia, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Kenya. And really the focus is to make sure that all the businesses, all the customers who want services across the continent were able to provide end-to-end services using the IPVPN platform. So we're the biggest Pan-African MPLS services provider in Africa, and we've got a few competitors, but I think we're doing a much more better job because we've got presence in various locations, and we are very strong in providing end-to-end service using our CSOC here, and then we've got a CSOC that sits in West Africa and Cameroon. So that's the profile of our business. Also, you'll remember that there's an international business where we have got operations in Tanzania, DRC, Mozambique, and Lesotho. Those businesses have the enterprise part, and that's also the businesses that we're supporting. So overall, if you look at group enterprise, it's got all those elements. And today, this business is about 18% of the Vodacom Group service revenues, and we have an ambition to grow the contribution to 30% by 2018, and we believe it's achievable. In terms of presence, where we've got teams, you must remember that to provide services to multinationals, you need teams that are closer to the customers, located in geographical hubs across the continent to be able to deliver great service on time at the right point at the right quality of service. So to do this, we have got teams that are concentrated in Zambia, Nigeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Kenya. Those teams are project managing at a regional level. However, from a MPLS network point of view, we've got points of presence in 27 countries. Those are Vodacom-owned points of presence. Then we've got points of presence in 46 countries through third-party networks. But we deliver services across the continent. We build up points of presence based on demand. It's demand-driven. Once we see that there are more customers asking for the service in a particular country, we build a business case and build our own point of presence because the economics add up. The economics make sense. Once the economics make sense, then we build our own. But where there is still not much demand, we use third-party networks to make sure that we can deliver the service at the right price point to the customer. So that's more the thing. So big presence in key hubs, in geographical hubs of the continent, continuing to invest in points of presence to make sure that we can deliver quality of service, but we use our own infrastructure, but also third-party infrastructure based on the level of demand so that we can deliver the service to the customer at the right price point with the right quality of service. So firstly, the fact that we're able to deliver across the continent like that, for multinationals and VGE, that becomes a strategic advantage because most of those customers have presence across the continent. They want a single service provider who's going to be able to deliver services here in South Africa and in other parts of the continent where the ICT challenges are bigger. So the fact that we're able to help customers succeed in areas where they believe ICT and infrastructure is a point of pain help us strategically to win also here in South Africa. That's number one. The second issue in particular in South Africa specifically is the fact that we have built our product sets around innovation at the core. So our belief is that a lot of things that are sitting, communication systems that are sitting in customer premises, will with time move to the core, to the center again. So we've built data centers. Those data centers help us deliver certain services at the platform level. For example, hosted PBX. Today, most enterprises have got PBXs in their own premises. We believe that those PBXs are going to move to the center, and therefore customers will have the benefit of sharing costs, but also having a resilient service on a multi-tenanted basis. That's what is happening with around PBX. We think that also around hosting and cloud. Still, most companies have got servers in their own premises. They have to manage this. There's cost associated with UPS, making sure that quality of service continues, the availability is there. But we're good at this because we've got the infrastructure. So when we bring all those servers into one location, which is in our own data centers, we can improve the time to market for our own customers because we have industrialized the platform, it's at scale. So if, for example, there's a customer who's building out a retail network, so the IT part and the telecoms part, the ICT part can be shortened because we will be providing the service at the center. It's just about switching on the machine and then loading the applications, and then immediately they will have access using our network, of course. So that's, to me, a strategic advantage we have because we have built our product sets not based on premises but more on the core. That shortens meantime, the time to market for customers, but also brings a lot more resilience because the whole infrastructure is well maintained. It sits on security and backup. So there's more resilience. So service availability, resilience, security, but also time to market because the machine is there. You just tell us when you need it, we switch it on. But also the cost benefit is that you only pay for what you use. You don't carry huge infrastructure that you may not use because the demand for services is not there. So that's, for us, the product approach, the innovation around products becomes very important. And the second part is around machine to machine. Again, we've built the platform with the help of Vodafone, of course, leveraging their R&D. The GDSP platform, it helps us to deliver M2M, for example, services across networks, across boundaries with deep insights. So, for example, a tracking company that moves goods from South Africa to Zimbabwe or to Zambia, it can continue to track, to provide deep insights right up to those countries without any need to create another instance in that country because we're using a common platform. So for us, those are strategic products that gives us the ability to differentiate ourselves in the market. But most importantly, the methodology we have, the account management framework for large enterprise and global enterprise in particular, VGE, which is a Vodafone global standard, help us with skills and capability for account management, which in a way, on its own, is a different methodology we haven't seen in country, so it gives us an advantage. So how we service customers, how we engage with them, understanding their needs, for me, it's one of the important aspects of our differentiation. The way we had built this business initially, we had built it largely for large enterprise, largely because at that stage we didn't have the underlying infrastructure. Now, because over 80% of our sites are on our self-provisioned network, and the way that network has been designed, it was designed to take into account business districts. So which means now we've got enough network footprint, which enables us to start targeting SMEs. Now, to target SMEs, to serve them, because they're one of the segments that are underserved today in South Africa. What we've done, we're building the fiber to the business, but also we have launched products that are agile from an access point of view, broadband connect, wireless, broadband connect over LTE, even satellite. We have reorganized, reshaped a satellite to be able to provide rich services for farming SMEs that are outside where we can outside our footprint for fiber and microwave, for example. So the product sets for access becomes very important. So that's what we have today. So for example, we're able to deliver services end-to-end to SMEs, both in terms of access, delivering internet, voice and data on the same service using our own infrastructure. So it's a segment that we believe in South Africa is underserviced, and we believe that somebody has had to step up or to step in and serve that segment, and that's what we've just done. Fiber to the business, a broad set of products and services for access that are fit for purpose. Also remember, it's not just any product. It's about, and SMEs is not a homogeneous segment. There are bands in there, so you need to deliver the right access media for the right segment, because it's about cost, it's also about quality of service. So people must be able to have access for the size of their business, but also for the price that they can afford. So it must be relevant to the needs of the business. So we've invested a lot. We have also signed up IT-validated resellers to give us channel to the SMEs. And that is beginning to work quite well. And with the product sets that we have now, we believe that there's a lot more we can achieve in the SME domain. It's a segment that's underserved in South Africa today, and we think that what we've built is good enough to make sure that we gain traction and improve the services in that domain. The challenge with the fixed business is a very complex business to build. It's not mobile, it's not easy. Every relationship is largely, every solution is largely bespoke, except when you do for SMEs. So for the large enterprise, it's very customer specific, because no enterprise is the same. Even when you're building a wide area network, they have different needs, they've got different applications they run, you need to understand them better. But the biggest challenge you face is the mean time to install in the fixed business. So how long it takes for us to deliver services to the enterprise customer once we've got the order. And this is what the customers are telling us. They are saying to me when I do customer advisory board meeting, they said, Vuyani, we like your service because once you have installed, it's almost worry-free. We never have to come back, it just works. So it's almost flawless. But we would like you to shorten the time to install. You're taking a little bit longer. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We've revised our operating model, focusing on optimizing our back-end processes so that we can shorten the mean time to install, but also with the investment in fiber network now, FTTB, and with us also continuing to self-provide our own infrastructure in the mobile side. So we're shortening the last mile to the customer, because practically what it takes to deliver, you need to have the infrastructure close enough to the customer, but also your back-end processes must be geared for agility. So last mile investment, we're improving the footprint. At the same time, we're reorganizing ourselves in the back end. So we're relentlessly focusing on this. It's one of the key things that we're improving. And every month, every year, we're shortening the number of days it takes for us to install. And it's just a product of network footprint, but also business process in the back end. And that's what we're doing. One of the key things that we are really doing as well is around building skills for a converged business, because the skills for fixed business are very, very different. So understanding how networks are designed for enterprise, but also understanding interpreting the needs of the customer and interpret them so that you can be able to provide the right solution. You must remember that the two worlds of telecoms and IT are converging very fast. Now you need hybrid skills of telco and IT to come together to be able to help the CIOs succeed. Bear in mind that today, a lot of the large enterprise CIOs are looking at a lot more outsourcing hardware and basic IT services to focus more on providing quality of information to the business, really mining big data and so on, which means we have to step up and step in and provide those IT type of services to the customer. So the skills, therefore, inside Vodacom is one of the big focus areas that I have, that is skills to transform businesses, making sure that people can build skills from mobile to fixed kind of world, but also from fixed to IT domain, so because it's all coming together. So that's the big focus area, and we've invested a lot in the past 2 years in retraining our sales force, giving them exposure, but also hiring people from different backgrounds. Some people are coming from IT domain, from traditional fixed, but also others are coming from systems integrating capability. So you have a mesh of skills that we're building that is going to enable us to be able to deliver services to customers. The first thing, of course, the brand must carry you through as the employer brand. I think with Vodafone and with the global footprint, the prospect of a person who joins Vodacom today ending up in Germany, in the UK, in India as part of the career path becomes very attractive to young people. But also one of the things that's also important is to capture people young enough. So we've got a graduate program that we are running with. So when you capture them young, you are able to have a much more runway with them by moving them around the business, but also moving around various opcos in their portfolio. But I think one of the things I've found for much more, for higher order skills is the fact that the business we do today has a very direct impact on people directly. So when you work here, you feel you have made transformation in a business. You can see the before and after in terms of impact. So there's more a personal fulfillment, a higher order purpose that when people are here, it's a very tangible transformation. If you take an SME and you offer them a service, you can see the difference. If you go to a government department, let's talk about Tanzania, for example, where we put our own health platform to track drugs for malaria. So we move clinics that had availability of as low as 25% to over 95%. So that has got a direct impact to people's lives. So there's the other aspect that there are few industries that are touching lives like our industry does, both for business as well as for individuals. So the combination of that value proposition tends to help us compete, but it's always going to be career growth. It's always about being on the cutting edge of technology, also enabling people, young people, to innovate. So that's what we're doing. We allow them to innovate a lot more because we have to always be ahead of the curve, and that's what part of the attractions of why people want to join us today. I get more on my LinkedIn. I get more CVs that are coming through. I get more people, unsolicited CVs that want to join Vodacom because we think that what you are doing on the enterprise is really transformational and would like to be part of that journey for Vodacom to build. So there's bigger interest for people to join us today.